You might be struggling with feeling confident when you sit down to mix. That's one of the biggest problems I see. When you actually sit down to work, you might feel confused or stuck. And that's something I want to talk about here on my channel over the next few months and in my newsletter, the Juice Letter, where I write about this every week. I'm Thomas Juth, Swedish mix engineer, and I've been mixing records for the past 20 years. And confidence is something that is very close to heart for me because I see that as the main thing to learn or to overcome on your journey to being a better mix engineer or producer. In this video, I wanted to give you 3 tips on how you can feel more confident. But first of all, I wanted to share a metaphor that I came up with the other day that I think can help a lot of people. So think of this. You have a kitchen tap, and the tap itself is all the techniques and all the tips you learn. That is very important, of course. But even if you open the tap, you might experience that there's no water flowing through, and the water that comes out is your confidence and the clarity in your decision making. The problem is, if you don't have the pipe system built properly, there will be no water coming out because you need the pipes for the water to lead out into the tap. And the pipes are your mindsets, your philosophies, your workflows, right? But the missing link here is how you connect the two, because you could have the best pipe system in the world, the best tap, but if they're not connected, there is no confidence either. And that comes from experience and from practice with real multitracks and sessions. Because here's the thing, I see a lot of people struggle with that connection. Having a piece of gear in front of you and not knowing what to do with it because you don't know how to connect your mindsets and the techniques and the music and everything together to know what to do with that compressor or EQ. Here are 3 tips, 3 ways of thinking about this for how this whole system can feel more effortless and connected. Tip number 1, relax and enjoy the process. And this applies to any creative work. I see a lot of younger engineers approaching mixing with tension and stress. But the thing is that music and mixing has to be fun and relaxed to flow. And when I mix, I always make an effort to have my body and my mind completely relaxed. And if I'm not, I take a walk in the park or clear my head, and I only come back when I feel calm and focused again. And I try to remind myself that it's not brain surgery or something serious. And the moment you realize that, you connect with the song, and that's when your confidence shows up. And that leads us to tip number 2. Think of mixing like working with clay, not marble. When you sculpt marble, one wrong move and it's all ruined. But with soft clay, you can shape it and reshape it as many times as you want. And that's how I think about mixing too. You can always go back, try things and undo things later. So the bottom line here is, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Experiment, play around, and move things around until they feel right. Tip number 3. The fundamentals is the secret sauce of mixing. I always tell my students to stop chasing advanced tricks and fancy techniques. It's much better to spend a few years mastering the basics, balance, tone, and movement. And when you watch experienced mix engineers work, you will notice that they don't do a lot of wild and flashy stuff just for the sake of it. They just focus on what the song needs, and sometimes that means doing almost nothing at all. And that is something I show in my masterclass, Mixing in Motion. It's more about listening, connecting, and doing the fundamentals really, really well. And I built my entire career on the basics of mixing. And I'll be writing more about this topic in my newsletter, the Juice Letter. And when you sign up, you also get an invite to a special seminar called The Art of Mixing Vocals. It's free, and I recommend joining, and I put the links right below. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you soon.